I don't think there is any shortage of excitement facing the Minnesota Vikings defensive front, especially when you talk about you have key rushers like Danielle Hunter and Za'Darius Smith. But obviously, those guys are going to be the main, they're going to be the main people that are main rushers, to focus on. But I want to remind the general public that there is a lot more going on this Vikings defensive line that I think is going to go unnoticed. I think there are legitimately 3 or 4 players on this Vikings defensive line that probably could get 4 to 5 sacks this year. Like no cap. We talk about whether it's at the 5 technique or it's at the outside linebacker spot. I think this is going to be very, very interesting. But overall, your base defense, and this is not just what's going to happen right now, but I think down the line you're going to have, obviously Harrison Phillips I think he's either going to play at that nose or he's going to play at that 5 tech. I think that's going to be interesting. You also got Armon Watts coming back, who in my mind showed like he was one of the better pass rushers or interior pass rushers for the Vikings last year. So I'm really excited about him. You also have James Lynch, who held his own. This man continues to do his thing. I love James Lynch. And then on the other side, man, Jalen Twyman. I'm so excited for Jalen Twyman. When he came out of Pitt last year, he was one of the Vikings need to draft this guy, and absolutely, I think he's going to find himself a spot here. Now, probably might not be a starter. I don't know. We'll have to see how training camp and everything unfolds, but you got Janarius Robinson, you got Jalen Twyman, Osezi Otomehu as well. So overall, this defensive line, that's just talking about the 5 techs and the guys playing on the inside, playing nose, if you will. So, and there's going to be a lot of different things that they throw at him. Armon Watts, I think, could play nose a little bit. I think he could play some 5 tech, whether it's the right or the left side. Asezi, I think, is EO. That's what we'll call him because that seems to be cooler. But overall, EO is going to be one of those guys that, honestly, I think he is built for this defense. I think he could be down the line a quality starter. Brian Robeson-esque, but not quite the pass rusher. I think that's probably going to be his ceiling, but his floor is at least a quality depth piece that can come in, can set the edge solidly in the run game and maybe give you a little something in the pass game as well. Then we get into the fun part. You talk about on the outsides, Danielle Hunter, Za'Darius Smith, DJ Wanham. The man had 8 sacks last year. That's going to be very interesting. You also talk about, who's ever going to play Zach McLeod coming in. I believe it was Wake Forest. Watch the tape on him. He's a game wrecker. But overall, this entire outside linebacker piece, I think, between guys like Danielle Hunter and Za'Darius Smith, combined at least 20 sacks this year between the two of them. At least. So then, okay, what are you talking about in terms of Jalen Twyman, Harrison Phillips, Dalvin Tomlinson, who I think might be, I think he's kind of in a contract year this year coming up for the Vikings, so it's going to be very big that he has a good season. But overall, you talk about the interior guys. I think Twyman could be a guy, is guy number 1, probably has at least 3 to 4 sacks this year. Armon Watts had, 3 or 4 sacks last year on the inside, but, I felt like he was going to be a guy that honestly will come in and continue his dominance from last year. But overall, this defensive line is just bad. Oh yeah, he had 5 sacks last year. I'm sorry, he had a handful. I could see that whether it be at nose or in the 5 tech position, that defensive end position overall, that could be kind of his ceiling as well, because that's how good he is being in that backup role. I mean, Armon Watts just balled last year. I'm so excited. So, you talk about, Harrison Phillips, Dalvin Tomlinson, Jalen Twyman, that's just kind of the inside guys or the guys that are going to be on the specific defensive line, not standing up like Za'Darius or Danielle Hunter. So, your defense, edge rushers is not a problem. Like, it is not a worry right now. Just top to bottom, you are just stacked in all different phases of this. And I think this defensive line, just top to bottom, is going to be lethal. I think it's better built to stop the run. I think it's better built to rush the passer with Danielle and Za'Darius. And again, we've even seen Za'Darius play a lot of different positions. And I think, obviously Danielle Hunter also played a little bit, as well as the rest of the Vikings defense, in a 3-4 last year against the Arizona Cardinals. But overall, this Vikings defensive line is going to be lethal. I think that they were at least second in the NFL. Would they have something like 50 sacks last year? 55, baby. That number's just going to go up. So I'm really excited about the Vikings defensive line, and I think it's going to be lethal. I think it's going to be absolutely lethal. It's going to be a huge part of the success for this Vikings defense. But let me know what you guys think. Let us know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. Also, remember to leave us a like and a comment. We greatly appreciate it. Also, if you guys would give us a listen and sub on iTunes. And finally, if you have anything else you'd like us to cover, send us an email at thesportsbp@yahoo.com or put in the comment section down below, and we would love to cover it. But let us know what you guys think about the Minnesota Vikings defensive line. being lethal.